Assalamu alaikum, namaste, hotep, shalom alaikum, peace. This is Tracy Lene Muhammad, and I hope that you allow me a few minutes of your very valuable and precious time to share with you what came up for me during my morning meditation session. I was thinking about situations and how I'm in the same place with some things that I've been in the same space and how to get out of it. And I gave myself advice as if I wasn't myself. You ever give somebody else advice and you're like, wow, that's some really good advice? It's because you're not as invested. Of course, you love them, but it's not you. So you can offer unbiased advice to somebody else because you're not self-sabotaging them. More than likely, you love them. Now, I don't offer advice to anybody that has not asked me. I used to do that. I would insert what I thought people should do if they were my friends, and tell them, well, you should do this or you should do that. And then sometimes get frustrated when they didn't do it. And if they fell flat on their face, I go, well, I told you shouldn't have done that. It was out of love, but it was out of ego as well. If people don't ask me, they got this. See, we all are equipped. We all come with the same God force. Some of our God force needs much more uncovering than others, but it's still there. If they ask me for advice, then I say, well, this is what I would do if I were you. So now this is what I do when I need help getting out of a stuck situation. I say, Tracy, if I were you, this is what I do. And then I give the same advice that I would give to somebody that I love. It seems to work for me because I guess it's coming out of myself and looking over myself and offering advice. I believe that it's my soul instead of my personality. So I ask advice from my soul and allow my soul to give that advice. And then I take the advice. That's the part. I take the advice. I usually meditate first so that I can know that I am in the right frame of mind and that my energy field is clear from any negative influences, so that when I give myself that advice of what maybe I should do, then I can follow it. And when I did that today, I recognized that I'm not still in the same space that I thought I was in. That was my ego and the drama of just pouting and wanting my own way. But when I looked at it, when I literally came outside of Tracy and looked back at Tracy, I'm thinking, no, you're not in the same space. You're making a lot of progress. Good girl. And I can then say, okay, well, great. So what should I do moving forward? And then that's what I'll do. One of the things I think that we do that may not be as helpful for us, for lack of a better word for right now, is we share too much of what is happening in our life with other people. Not everybody means you greatness. Now, I also don't think that people are just out to get you and that if you have close friends, you can't share what's going on. But what I do know is that everybody gives advice based upon what they understand about life. If you go to somebody in the Christian faith and ask for advice, they're going to give you the advice that they feel that Jesus would give you. If you go to a Muslim, they're going to give you the advice that they feel Allah would give you. And each of them are going to decide that their advice is the advice because of the God that they serve. What I believe is you have to decide what works for you based upon what feels right in your soul. I don't do religion anymore, not because I don't think religion is valuable, because it was valuable when it was valuable, but I am relying on soul and relying on the spirituality. I follow Infinite Waters on YouTube, and I was watching one of his YouTubes this morning, and he was talking about, he said, religion is for people. I forgot what he said now. But anyway, you should watch it. It's called Jesus is King. He's talking about Kanye West's album. But in some of the things that he said, I mean, I agree with most of the things he said because he comes from a spiritual place. And because I now connect with a spiritual place, everything he says resonates with me. When I was religious, none of what he said resonated with me because I was looking at life from a religious standpoint. I'm not saying either is right or wrong. It's what works for you. That's what you have to do. You have to decide what works for you and then do it. I don't believe that what works for me has to work for somebody else or that I even have to tell them. What I'm learning now is when people believe what they believe, just say yes because it's what they believe. The yes isn't for you to believe it. It's because you accept that that's what they believe. If they ask your opinion, you give it. And you can give your opinion saying, well, this is the way I feel about this. I recognize that it may not work for you. That takes your ego out of the picture. It allows you to look at life look at situations from a space of not one size fits all. So I just wanted a few minutes of your time to give you a little advice on how maybe you could start giving advice to yourself, the same advice you'd give to somebody else, and see if that works, if that helps you get further. Look at situations for what they are, not for what you want them to be, but look at them for what they are first, and then see how you can like get yourself to a space to get it where you want it to be. It works. It really does. If you just decide, well, this is where it is now, but first you have to deal with the reality of where it is now. This is where it is now, but this is where I would like for it to be. Now, what will get me there? And while you do pray and you do fast, you have to do the work as well. You have to decide to let go of some things that don't serve you, to pick up some things that may make you uncomfortable. You have to be willing to really dig deep, deep down inside of your soul and decide what it is you want to do and how you want to go from where you are, the reality of something, to somewhere else. And you have to trust yourself and your inner God. That's all I wanted to say for you today. Thank you for your time. Assalamu alaikum, namaste, ho tap, shalom alaikum. Peace out to Brooklyn and everywhere else.